What is up, everyone? JD here, coming at you from the new studio setup. Got an exciting review to do with you. Let's get it. All right, guys, we are checking out a model that I just really think looked fantastic. I saw a couple of reviews and they piqued my interest. So I spent my own money and picked up the Kansept Havorn. I just think this is a beautiful knife overall. Um, is it my favorite Kansept now? We're gonna have to find out. What we have here is a titanium frame lock knife with raindrop carbon fiber inlays. Beautiful milling. I think the milling is really what sets this one off for me. Not as exciting for the non-milled version. The milled version is definitely where it's at for me. I think there is a non-milled version. Now I'm kind of questioning myself. We'll pull it up here in a second and check it. S35 yen, static washed blade. You got a flipper, front and rear, frame lock, as I mentioned, access. You got a milled titanium pocket clip that works fantastic, by the way. Kansept's last handful of knives that I've seen, their pocket clips on them are really, really good. You got ceramic bearings in the pivot on race washers. Very nice controlled action on these. Not as tight feeling here lately, I'm noticing with some of these. Maybe it's the blade being longer, having a little bit more weight to it, but the specifically the Hinterland and this Havorn, really good action, nicely dialed detent. Very, very good for that front flipper. Extremely good for the front flipper, and I'm sorry, for the regular flipper. I would say it's really, really good. You see I skidded off of there. Some of that's to do with the detent. The other part of it is I think it just needs one more tiny jump here on the corner. It's kind of rounded. I got to remind myself to kind of land right here and go in with the meat of the knife. Interestingly, they got it jimped here. I guess, if you wanted to, like that finger grip, you could do that. Got a little grip there, gives you a little bit more of a choke up spot for some detailed work. That could work. Speaking of cutting, very good cutter. Kansept has been putting nice factory edges on here, and it has a very good slicey geometry to the grind on the blade. Went through the catalog paper, great. Went through the cardboard like a knife through hot butter, or a hot knife through butter. So really good cutting and nice detailed work. Pin script worked good. It's not a very low profile drop point. It's very subtle. But when I adjust my pinch grip to be kind of off to the side, to canter to the side, I can do one or two. Wouldn't be comfortable to do a lot of trace cut, detailed cut work. If that's what if that is part of your EDC, this is definitely not going to be for that. I just think it's a really good looking knife, very comfortable ergos. You can tell the pocket clip's there just because it's so wide. But because it's so wide, it's not hot at all. It's super comfortable. The jimping back here on the back for that flipper tab kind of locks you into place. I do like that a lot as well. The jimping here for your thumb is very grippy. Now, the static wash version here, it went through, again, the denim and the cardboard very nicely. No issues whatsoever. I'm not sure why I'm getting so much fingerprint on the blade. I haven't touched any oil, I don't think. But I was worried about this being a hot spot, and it's really not. Very, very well chamfered. Good access to the lock bar. Again, controlled actions, really nice. Really good for the index finger lift. And if you like to slide it over and drop it down, it's really nice. They did a great job with this model. I really, really like this design. Degen design, as you can see here. The Havorn is what it says there. I couldn't remember where the blade steel is. Blade steel is on the front. I think they always put it on the front of theirs. They're tucking in nicely here. They're doing smaller logos, which I appreciate. It kind of, limits how much it dumbs down the design, in my opinion, by being able to do that. It's pretty subtle. Let's go ahead and spine whack first. All right, I spine whack just to see lock face engagement. I'm not telling you to baton with this knife. Matter of fact, you'll see as I do these 3 spine whacks, I'm going to reset the lock because we're just emulating like if you were being careless and accidentally hit the back of your knife on something or in a tight space and it slips and you hit it on the back of something to make sure that it's not going to flip on you. So let's go ahead and lock it up. I'm going to start with the middle and then 2 out on the tip. Okay, so for me, that is a pass. Nice firm whack on the back of the spine to make sure that it does not unlock the knife with the vibration or the impact. I don't like to beat on it a lot because this is my personal knife. I don't like to do that because it damages the way that the lock interfaces with the back of the knife. It's going to cause it to go over every time that you whack it, and it's going to shorten the life of that lockup. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and bring a couple out here for some size comparisons. All right, we have the Manix 2 lightweight out here with the Vosteed Hedgehog, and as you can see, it's a full-size knife coming in almost identical in size to that Manix 2 lightweight. Let's bring out a couple more. All right, we got the CJRB Echo out here, and you can see that the Havorn is definitely a little bit bigger than the Echo, which I consider to be a medium-sized EDC. And then I thought I'd bring out the Hinterland, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite concept out here. The Havorn is definitely giving it a run for its money, but the Hinterland, just a little bit more my style aesthetically, but I really do like this Havorn. But you can see the Hinterland's just a little bit bigger. Let's grab this scale, guys, and check the weight on this one. All right, we got the scale out here, guys. Let's cut her on and check the weight on the Havorn. All right, coming in 4.5. I want to say the Hinterland was 4.4. Yeah, so just a little bit heavier than the Hinterland. You got a thicker pocket clip on it, even though it's a little bit smaller. And then you have what I would call like a 50 to 3/4 length, depending on your preference. I'd call it like a, if you go from all the way out here, you could call it 3/4. So I'll say a 3/4 length titanium back spacer. That's going to add a little bit of weight to it. Let's get the scale out of here and we'll wrap up. Okay, guys, let's wrap up. So if you are not familiar with the channel and the Havorn is the first knife that you're coming to my channel to watch, I do a grade scale of 1 to 10. 1's the worst, 10 is the best, 7 is the cutoff for anything budget, and that would be like a perfect budget knife, and that's just materials kind of limit that. This here is definitely a premium knife. S35VN is an excellent EDC work steel. I like it a lot. I stand behind the fact that anything that I've gotten from Kansept on S35VN has been very well done for EDC. It performs well. Titanium with carbon fiber inlay bumps up the scale a little bit here. Titanium hardware throughout with a titanium milled pocket clip, and you got, as I mentioned earlier, you can call it a 3/4 length titanium backspacer, ceramic bearings, and very good detent tune for excellent action, very smooth open and closed, and a very beautiful aesthetic. I really like this. I don't know that I would necessarily say that I'll always go for this type of style, but I think this combination, this exact variant to me is very attractive. I like this one a lot. Having said all of that, I am going to be going 7.9 on this one. 7.9 is a very high score on this channel. Again, 10 has never been issued. I have not encountered the perfect knife. I've had a couple of low 8s. I think the Hinterland to me was like an 8.1. This one here being 7.9, really, really close. The only thing that really kind of holds it back for me is just going to be simply that it is flippers only. There's no thumb studs, which I do like thumb studs for deployment. Might have been a little bit too much on this design. It might have taken away from the aesthetics. The other thing that hold it back for me a little bit is just going to be that it is almost a straight back. You know, it just has a slight subtle drop out here, so it's not going to be great for utilities, but it's still going to be very, very versatile. And I will say it's a little tight for me for extremely large hands. I hang off the back a little bit, even though again it is very comfortable. It's a little tight for me to get up on it. I got to really squeeze in there to get it, but it's not so much of a squeeze that it's uncomfortable, if that makes sense at all. I don't know. Those are the little things that take away, but Detent tune, very well tuned in the pivot for that ceramic bearing on racetracks. I feel like these last few from Kansept have been very nice, very well done. I love the controlled shakes, not super guillotine or droppy to where I worry about it dropping on my thumb or cutting me or anything like that. Love the way that the designer decided to go with this inlay and these milling patterns. I think it looks really nice. I even like the fact that they left this scale smooth because it goes in and out of the pocket well. The only thing that maybe would have been cool is if they would have been able to throw that carbon fiber in here, but I don't know with that lock bar cutout if they could have done that. Alternatively, maybe they could have just done at the top a little matchy knurling like yin and yang and just had it here and stop, and then this be smooth. I think it looks good here, and the way that they did it here with a little bit of exposure, and they didn't take the milling all the way up around the actual inlay. So I think you could have done that maybe, but I like it the way that it is. I wouldn't say that it was anything that deducted for the score for me, but that is my score on the Havorn. We will do disassembly and maintenance in a separate video for you guys that are interested in that, so you can see what it looks like on the internals with the racetracks, or how to take it apart and clean it and everything like that. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, a like on your way out will help. If you're interested in picking this one up, I am an affiliate with Kansept, so when you use that link, it helps the channel. And thank you very much to those of you out there that do. Again, awesome support from the community, especially those channel members. I'm out of here, guys. I love you. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you next time. Peace.